Howdy, folks. I hope all of y'all are doing well today. We just came through one season of paganism, and we're about to enter into another one. And most people don't even realize that this is truly a pagan practice. As a matter of fact, the month that we're about to move into is named after a Greek mythological deity. And his name is Janus. He is the two-faced god. He has one face pointing forward, which is a young, youthful face, and another face facing backwards, which is the face of an old man. And all through, like when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, watching the cartoons on Saturday morning, the Bugs Bunny show and whatnot, well, during this time of year, there was always Baby New Year, and then there was the old man from the previous year. So out with the old and in with the new. And again, this is something that's based in paganism around Janus, and he is actually the god of transitions, doorways, and stuff like that. So all these upcoming New Year's celebrations are celebrating him, because in all honesty, and if you are truly honest with yourself, ask yourself this question: what is the difference between moving from December to January? All right, so what's different about that than it is moving from July to August, or August to September, or January to February, or any other time where you're transitioning from one set of numbers to another set of numbers? Because essentially that's really all it is. We keep up with time according to the Gregorian calendar, dates and stuff like that, just simply so we'll know when things happen. Contracts are written based on time, and all sorts of things like that. So really, what is significant about moving from December to January? Nothing. But people are going to get together and they are going to celebrate that transition in the same way that the ancient Greeks, or at least the way that the ancient Greek gods would have celebrated it. I mean, not that there were any Greek gods, but in the mythological stories, the way that they would have celebrated it, which would have been with drinking, and partying and revelry and gluttony and stuff like that. So I ask you, why is it that Torah observers get together and celebrate these things? And not only Torah observers, but why do people that are still in the church system get together and celebrate these things? Because most of the people that I talk to that are in the church system know that Christmas and Easter and Halloween, all of these things came from pagan origins, but they operate under the mythological guise that those things are now somehow good. But the Bible plainly says you can't take something unclean and make it clean. I apologize, I've had my contacts in all week and they're starting to bother me. I usually take them out about this time on Friday evening before Shabbat begins to let my eyes rest along with the rest of me. But so why are people celebrating these things? And I realize that most people in the church system probably don't realize that the transition from December to 31st to January the 1st is based in paganism, but I assure you it is. I will put some links in the description about Janus and stuff like that under the video. But, I'll say the same thing that I continue to say is all through Scripture we are instructed not to learn the ways of the heathen. Period. So certainly by celebrating them, that shows that you've learned them. But aside from being told not to learn their ways, we are told not to celebrate their celebrations. In fact, what it says specifically in, I don't remember the verse, I'll put it up here on the screen. It says, don't worship Yahweh the same way that the heathens worship their gods, or the pagans, or the nations, or something another like that. I think it's Jeremiah 10 within the first few verses, verse 1 or 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I'll check. And like I said, I'll post it up here. But you can't take something that's evil and make it good. I mean, the devil will always be the devil. Yeshua said that he was a murderer from the beginning. And Scripture also says something about iniquity being found in him. He'll always be a murderer. And everything that he's ever invented is evil. So nothing good it can't be, you can't make pudding out of pus, is something that I heard the other night on a television show, I think. Or what I've always heard growing up is you can't make chicken salad out of chicken stinky. You just can't do it. So you can't take a pagan celebration where they used to burn their babies alive, which is what Scripture means when it says causes your children to pass through the fire. And I'll find that Scripture, and because it says it several times in the Bible, I'll put that in the description down below also, and a reference to it up here as well. But you can't take a celebration where they used to worship nature and Nimrod, and they used to burn their babies alive, chunk them right into the fire and listen to them scream until they died, and turn it into something that's not evil. That's just, it disgusts me to even think about it. And once you learn what all the symbology is, which I'm kind of leaning more on Christmas right now, but the tree representing Nimrod's male parts, and the wreath representing female parts, Semiramis specifically. Red being representative of blood. I just made a video about this stuff. And then New Year's with the drinking and the transition, and everybody standing up to count down from the transition from the last day of this year to the first day of this year, and it's celebrated for the change to happen at midnight. All of this is dark symbology, is what it is, and it's just, it's plain, devil's got his hooks in, folks. So anyway, I guess I've rambled on long enough about this. I hope to see each and every one of you in the kingdom of heaven. Remember Proverbs 18:13, 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15, and Acts chapter 17 verses 10 and 11. And what those three things have in common is they all tell you that it's your responsibility to study and to learn about Yahweh yourself. Don't listen to what some preacher tells you and take that as being absolute truth, because I did it for many, many years, and it turns out that I learned lies, and that was just a mosquito. Here it is, tail end of December. It's supposed to be wintertime, and we've still got mosquitoes flying around here. But Yahweh bless.